Hi guys, how's it going? Good. Right, Advertisers Watching Ads. So I'm the founder of Automated Creative. We're a creative effectiveness ad tech platform. But one of the things we do every week is a show called Advertisers Watching Ads, which is like Gogglebox but for ads. And we get 3 lovely brands to come on and review an ad that's chosen by our partners Contagious. And we discuss the merits of the ad. It's very positive, it's not a witch hunt. And we have like a leaderboard where each of the ads gets a vote from the panel. And what we're going to do today is review the top 3 ads of the year so far. And you marketing lovely people, are going to vote for ad of the year. So these guys are going to debate each ad, and then at the end there's going to be a vote. And then whoever made that ad is not going to come on stage because they'll have literally no idea we're doing this. But I'll email them after. So can I get a clicker? Beautiful, thank you so much. But first, before we do that, a shameless plug on top of a shameless plug. This evening at Barkick, we are having an AI prompt battle. That's where different teams are going to use different AIs to make ads and answer pub quiz questions. So scan that QR code on Alex's head. It's at Barkick. It's going to be amazing. Right, okay, cool. So this is the league table. You can see the 3 at the top are going to win, some other less well-performing ads. And if you want to follow the show on YouTube, there you go. So this is the first ad.
When I started making videos, I already knew people were gonna give me shit for like my voice.
Back when I gamed in high school, I didn't use voice chat because if I did, I wouldn't be able to compete.
As soon as people figured out that you were a girl, like they just jumped on that.
Instantly.
I'm going to test all this. Hello. Testing.
Hello. There we go.
Well, there she is.
This is me as a girl. Sweet Bee, that's my name.
How long do you think it's going to take before he gets told to get back into the kitchen?
You guys got a microphone? You guys got comms? Anyone got comms?
It's the uncomfortable, like, silence.
I've never had people not respond to me before. I just had 2 people leave.
Oh.
I'm searching again.
Where should I go?
Oh my god.
It wasn't even 5 seconds in.
Hey guys.
Well, that was smart.
What's wrong? Hopefully we win this.
Oh, sweet, don't touch your...
Whoa! I'm trying to play the game.
Yeah, that didn't make fun of your dead grandma. Oh, shit up, what? Shut up.
Is that a female? I want to baby.
What the...
Call me daddy.
Naughty
Oh, man. It's rough, isn't it?
If this was something you had to live through like your whole entire life, could you see yourself giving up on voice chat like altogether?
Absolutely. We've seen you experience that, and that happens a lot. Why do you keep playing?
Because I love it. And I think that's why we all keep playing, is because we love it.
And the only way you can really get through it is by surrounding yourself with people that genuinely support you and genuinely love you.
This is just a fraction of what an entire world of people will go through. And I think that's why we have to like utilize resources online, you know, and find safe spaces and keep your mental health in check.
I think that we can't just hide online. Like everyone's got to speak up and help each other out.
You just got to step up, and people will rally with you because it is the right thing to do.
Gaming is made for everyone, and it should be experienced by everyone.
I really forgot to get the guests to introduce themselves first. So before we hear your marketing genius, can you introduce yourselves very quickly?
Hi everyone, my name's Alex Taborda. I'm Senior Media Manager at L'Oreal.
Hi guys, I'm Nikita Longdon. I'm a Senior Creative Project Manager at Expedia.
Hello, I'm Joe Harper. I'm Global Head of Content at Diageo.
So we'll start with you, Joe. What was your reaction to the Maybelline?
I think loved it. I liked it. Thought it was very powerful. What I admire is some very difficult language, quite, as you can see, you know, pre-watershed language, and takes a lot of courage for a brand to include that in their creative. So admire Maybelline for that. Being critical, I think, you know, quite late to bring the brand in. So I wonder kind of how they measure the impact of the campaign and kind of what it delivers for them. But generally, very hard-hitting gaming, very difficult segment that lots of brands want to enter into, and I think it's quite an authentic play into that. So yeah, strong creative, strong ad.
How about you, Nikita? Pros and cons?
Well, I thought this was a really powerful piece because it went beyond the brand and the product. It kind of catered and tailored to its audience and its brand positioning, in that being empowering, showing resilience and confidence as well. So especially, you know, as you've got the stats there where it's 83% of women gamers have experienced abuse, and just showing that their passions have allowed them to push through that, and also encouraging those to speak up as well. I think it's really powerful that they're using their platform to have that those difficult conversations. So yeah, I thought it was brilliant, and the visuals as well were beautiful as well. Like the colours and the set design really played into the gaming world as well. So yeah, I thought it was really impactful.
And Alex, this is one of your brands, so there's going to have to be a certain amount of positive things to be said, but it's a brilliant bit of work.
I thought it was fantastic, to be honest with you, Tom. Yeah, look, I think it's a really serious subject matter, obviously. I think the first thing to point out is that it's linked to Maybelline's Better Together initiative, which is a CSR initiative they have, which is all about empowering people and making sure that if they're experiencing depression or anxiety, they have support that they need. So it's much less of a product play and actually much less of a brand play, and much more of a play to that initiative and making sure that people, whatever they're doing, have the support they need to kind of do the things that they love. I think that obviously the really smart thing is putting the audience or putting the people in the shoes of girls, and that being boys and people who, you know, generally don't experience that kind of abuse. They said it themselves, and in the worst case scenario are actually the ones perpetuating that abuse, and actually seeing their reactions to it, like the guy said, it really gives it that authenticity and really gives it that impact. So yeah, I think it's a really powerful thing, and yeah, I think it's obviously all in support of that initiative that they have.
It's going to be a tough ad to beat. So here is the second contender.
Every spring, something strange happens in the district of Euro in Honduras. It happens during rainy season. And it's happened every year for the past 100 years. Miraculously, fish fall from the sky.
Lluvia de peces en Lloro. Y es que estamos en la famosa temporada de la lluvia de peces.
Scientists think waterspouts formed by funnel clouds suck up the fish and send them off. It's called lluvia de peces, the rain of fish. The humble people of Euro call it something else. They call it a miracle.
Parece que los pececitos vienen nadando en el aire.
At Regal Springs, we call it heaven fish. Heaven Fish is a modern new enterprise based on this natural phenomenon. The hard-working people of Euro make very little money, about $1 per day in U.S. currency. By partnering with Regal Springs, one of the largest fish wholesalers in Central America, they safely help gather, register, and authenticate the fish that fall from the sky. The fresh fish is immediately processed and shipped all over Honduras. And for the first time ever, more than 90 restaurants bought Heaven Fish, creating unique dishes to put on their menus. More than 80 public markets throughout Honduras now sell Heaven Fish directly to consumers. Through this new initiative, it's possible for the people of Euro to increase their daily wage by 400%. Heaven Fish is a predictable, sustainable, and profitable business partnership. Regal Springs, bringing fresh fish from heaven to your table.
Fish falling from the sky, being packaged and then flogged to hipsters, really? I don't know, I'm not convinced. Alex, what's your view?
I think the first thing to say is that as a piece of storytelling, it's incredibly done. It's beautifully shot. The guy has one of the most just loveliest voices I think I've ever heard. I'd love him to kind of read me to bed at night. That came across a bit wrong, actually. But I think the kind of way that they captured that story and told it, I think was really, really beautifully done. And I think that gives a lot of the impact to it. I suppose the criticisms or the misgivings I would have about it is, if this is a real phenomenon, which I assume it is, I probably should have looked that up before I came today, it seems to only be confined to a very certain time of year. So that's great that if this is a thing that happens, they're giving support to these people and helping them to earn more money, but actually what's happening outside of that window, and are they giving kind of an always-on support outside of that? So I think it's really interesting. It's obviously a very fun story, but yeah, I would have slight misgivings about that aspect of it.
Nikita, are you a fan?
Well, I mean, this is so heartwarming, isn't it? Like, it's such a beautiful piece, as Alex said. And I did do a little bit of research around them. And it's a really great activation. So it was actually started by Ogilvy Honduras. They've got a branch out there. And they had their client, Regal Springs. And just this, it is a real phenomenon as well. It happens every year. I think, as I mentioned, it's due to, the air and the water doing its thing and, flinging these fish out into the atmosphere. But, they just kind of went in and were like, how can we support this town? How can we do better? And, I mean, they're very much aware that, it's not them trying to solve the whole problem, but just taking those small steps for bigger change. And 80% of revenue actually gets donated back to the residents of the town as well, which I think is really great. So it's not just about this one creative piece, it's going that and beyond as well, which I think is really important.
So, Joe, we're getting short on time. Short and sharp, what's your review of this?
Wow.
Tell it like it is.
Yeah, I think, thank you for doing the research, because I started panicking then. So yeah, I think they'd be hoping for a halo impact onto the broader business, wouldn't they? Because it's such a limited scale time, and then the region that they execute in. But I absolutely loved it. I learned something as well. So a value exchange as a consumer, a potential shopper. I felt like I got something from this. It's a fascinating story. Loved the production value of it. Thought it was really, really nicely done. In short, that's my answer.
Thank you, sir. Right, last up is eBay.
Sneakers. In the beginning, nobody thought twice about lacing up a new pair. But somewhere along the way, things got a little out of control.
The global sneaker market is predicted to reach $120 billion.
These I don't think I'll ever wear. This is more of an investment.
With resellers and bots snatching up every new sneaker seconds after they drop, just to flip them for a profit, most sneaker lovers can no longer afford to buy the pairs they want to wear. As the oldest and largest marketplace for new and pre-worn sneakers, eBay believes nothing should stop you from wearing your kicks. So how do you get the hottest pairs to people who truly love and will actually wear them? Introducing the Wear 'em Out store, the first sneaker shop to reward sneakerheads for wearing their kicks. Every sneaker had a market price and a Wear 'em Out price. To get the Wear 'em Out price, you had to show up, lace them up, and wear them out of the store. Walking a path of gravel, cement, and grass, that guaranteed the shoes couldn't be resold as new. Rapper and sneakerhead Offset curated the store's collection, choosing some of the hottest and most coveted styles of the year. How did people react?
You guys won't believe what eBay is doing this weekend in LA. This is absolutely genius.
eBay is changing the sneakerhead game.
The media loved it too. The store was open and packed for 3 days. People even camped out overnight.
Did you guys sleep here?
Yeah. It drove over 1.5 billion earned impressions, inspired more than 150 million social interactions. And shortly after the event, sneaker sales on eBay were up 25% over the previous year. The Wear 'em Out store reminded us that sneakers are meant to be worn, and eBay is the ultimate place to find them.
You're undead stocking a sneaker, which for a sneakerhead is a very big moment.
And that's why this store's so dope, because you gotta wear them out.
Wear 'em out.
Wear 'em out.
Wear 'em out. Wear 'em out.
So, Nikita, 1.5 billion impressions for a pop-up store with some shoes in it. That's got to be a success, right?
Yeah, I mean, this It was a wicked campaign. I mean, I think we were discussing this earlier, whether it is actually a campaign. Like, I think it's more PR, isn't it, at the end of the day? It is amazing, but it does make me question whether what happens past this. I mean, I think it's a great activation in regards to really playing into eBay's ethos of providing economic opportunities for its both buyers and sellers, and protecting its buyers as well. But what happens beyond this? I mean, they've done this one activation, which is amazing, but then the next day everyone's just going to go back and selling these trainers for 5 times the retail price, you know? So what happens, like, beyond this? I think it would have been great if this was based in LA, if they went from city to city and do various activations to kind of continue that conversation.
How about you, Alex?
Yeah, I agree totally with that. I think that this is a real problem for sneakerheads, and clearly eBay probably has done more than anyone else actually to perpetuate that kind of behaviour from sellers, making it so easy for them to list it immediately. So it's definitely a problem. This specific activation is a solo kind of response to that, but going beyond that, what's their kind of charter to help buyers? How can they make sure that buyers are protected in the long term so they don't get screwed further down the road? I didn't see that from the activation personally.
And Joe, you fan?
I echo everything that's been said. It's PR experiential. Wouldn't see it as an advert, so to speak. Seems to clash completely with what eBay's role in that sort of food chain is. You know, they perpetuate. They are the kind of founders of that. I think for me as well, you know, the fact that they've done a physical pop-up when they're one of the pioneers of online commerce kind of highlights how limited they can be in terms of the impact that they could actually have on changing that behaviour. Important issue for sure, and you know, I like my shoes as well, and I know it's a challenge. But for me, you know, without being too critical, perhaps smacks a bit of a PR campaign that's kind of disjointed and disconnected from its marketing and commercial ambitions. So perhaps, but as I always say on all of your pods that I've done, you kind of have to be in the business and managing the campaign and managing the media to understand the kind of omni-channel execution and how they're bringing it to life. So I would say that as well.
So it's voting time, guys. Alex, who's got your vote? That's a stupid question.
Maybelline.
Nikita?
Regal Springs, 100%.
And Joe?
Regal Springs for me as well, Heaven Fish.
Right, so you've seen the ads, you've heard the views, and this is ad of the year time, guys. Right, so there's a really complicated bit of technology I want you to use, which is your right hand. So can everyone put their right hand up for Maybelline? Whoa, it's gonna be hard to beat. Regal Springs and eBay. A couple of people here from eBay. Well done, guys. So we have a winner. Maybelline wins Advertisers Watching Ads ad of the year. And a shameless plug again. When you finish being inspired and learning, come to the Automated Creative AI Prompt Jam and prove how great you are at doing cool AI stuff and being part of the future industry. Round of applause for our beautiful panel. And thank you so much, guys. Have a great MadFest.
Thank you.